Hello.
Hi, Dan.
Hello.
Hello, hello. How's everybody?
Good. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. I'm great, actually. I've been doing this project in the studio all week with my wife's brass quintet, and it's going really well. It's like, I was amazed, you know, everybody had their doubts about how, like, say, the banjo would blend with the horns. And everybody's really thrilled with how it sounds. Like, it's just such a cool sound. So we're really enjoying it. The only thing is we've had a few setbacks because of COVID problems. People having exposures and not being able to be there. So we're going to have to book the studio probably again. But it's well worth it because it's going to be really great. So it's been a really fun week in that way. So... yeah, somebody have something they were saying?
A number of us got our first COVID shot.
Oh,
Shot.
right on. That's great.
Saturday night. We're got appointments for Saturday night.
Who's that? Who's
Cool.
that?
Ross. Yeah.
Oh, Ross. Good.
That's great. What a great way to spend your Saturday night.
Yeah, great. Shot in the arm.
Where do you have to go, Ross?
It's good, Ross.
Make sure
Maybe
you
have a shot of something else after, right?
make sure you bring your Pink Floyd.
Probably a lot of scotch.
Where are you going, Ross?
There's a Caledon Recreation Center.
Oh, okay.
Has a mass clinic, so that's good. Bill finally, after all my grumbling, Bill finally got it together.
Right. Oh, Holton has been very good, very smoothly, very good.
I see where Halton, as of Friday, are going to start appointments for 70. And
It's up and running now, I think. I got a message about it, but maybe it is, yes.
It was up and running.
One on Friday morning. My husband was ready to stay up all night. 1 on Friday morning.
Yeah, it was going Friday morning at 1:10
Oh, 1:10, okay.
a.m.
That's
Got an
great.
email from Shoppers Drug Mart saying that you can book appointments for 60 plus too.
there's no drugstores in Halton serving them.
Depends on the area.
No, like we just booked our appointments, so they're going to let us know when we're available. We at least now we're on the list
Oh, okay.
to get tested. Yeah, they're not doing the tests yet, but we're booked for them whenever.
They don't
What are you saying, 70, over 70 in Oakville, starting Friday?
Yes.
Yeah, it's booked starting Friday.
Oh,
Looking.
Friday midnight.
Hey, Earl, did you say?
No, it was the 75 plus started last week.
Oh, okay.
But the 60 plus is open in Toronto, I thought.
Toronto.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
so but isn't that 60 to 65 or something for AstraZeneca?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got the 60 plus one just earlier this week.
This is the only time when we all want to be older.
Yeah.
And we're too young.
My birthday was March the 1st. And if it was before March the 1st, I wasn't going to qualify. If it was after March the 1st, I was going to qualify. It was the only good thing I could see about having that birthday.
So here's the trick. My sister did this in Richmond Hill because theirs opened. And so what she did is she found out that you can go onto the site and you can have everything set to go. And then right on the dot of 8:30, she hit screen refresh and she was popped right in for her appointments.
I've heard that too.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't go on early in the morning. I went on about 3 o'clock in the afternoon of the day it opened up, and it was a cinch. It was very, very easy. So I think perhaps, and I got a good date, so.
But see, Oakville, Halton is using their own system.
Yeah.
If you're going in Toronto or some of those other places, you have to go through the provincial one. I think it's a little bit more difficult.
That's right.
I booked my mother-in-law through the provincial one in Hamilton, and it was fine.
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah, it was fine. There's no problem.
Hey, Bill, are they gonna come to
Well,
her?
I've
You say your
been waiting
mother-in-law?
4 days for COVID test results, and I still don't have my test result back after. So out of the 7-day window, I'm going to be 5 days in tomorrow, and I don't have the result. So today I visited my brother-in-law on the other side of the door, and we talked over the phone.
Well, this is the Celtic vaccine session, is it?
Yeah,
Don't start out that way these days.
just so I can go in.
Yeah, you know there's going to be a few tunes called the vaccine or the jab. Hey? Somebody's got to write a tune called the jab.
If you're, I was just going to say to Leslie, if she's going to retirement home or long-term care in the Halton area, they're doing rapid testing now where you can go in, and you wait for 15 minutes, get a result, and then you can.
I asked about that, and they said you have to commit to either doing rapid testing from here on out every 3rd day, or you can continue going asymptomatic testing every 7, and you can't do a combination of both.
Wow.
Well, I don't know. I run into
It's an iron ring, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I know I was able to go in using the rapid test, and good for 2 days.
I could have done a rapid test
You
today,
said the
but then
rapid
I would have
test.
to forfeit.
Rabbit test.
A rapid test.
Oh no, it came up rabbit.
Yeah, that's a miracle. So I chose not to do the rapid test.
Okay, guys. So I'm glad to see so many people getting vaccinated, and I'm starting to try to put together a plan. Some people had some great suggestions about outdoor spaces out in that neck of the woods to maybe have a couple of rehearsals in May, and maybe kind of do some kind of a thing where we make videos of each group and put them together type of thing or something like that. So we'll see. And so it's very encouraging. And I thought tonight what we could do is we could have pump up the tempo night tonight. All right? So specifically for the sets that we just learned, which is the Irish reels and the Irish polkas, because they are kind of supposed to be fast tunes, and I thought it might be a really good exercise for everybody to do a little bump up for each of those sets tonight. And basically what we'll do is we'll try a few times of the sets, and we'll see what's a comfy tempo for everybody, or for most. Now don't be afraid if it challenges you, the tempo, because this is a goal. This is something we're working towards, okay? So if we figure out a tempo where most people feel okay, maybe a few people are a bit challenged, that can be our baseline, and we can try bumping it up a little bit from there. Just try a few cracks at the little bit faster, after going slow, and then talk about it. See what might have gone wrong with people, if there's little bits that need clarification or some little technique things, and then we'll move on to another set and do the same thing. And I thought that we could do that starting with some of the sets from the past that we know so well, like say the slip jigs or the, the Irish reels that we did before Christmas. So we could use those to warm the whole idea up, and then we'll work on the 2 sets that we just learned and see if we can kind of just raise the bar a little tiny bit. Does that sound like a plan?
Yes, great.
Excellent. All right, so why don't we warm up in our usual way, and we'll start with the slip jigs tonight because they're so familiar. So let's do a good G major scale and arpeggio, and we're just going to do it twice. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a nice slow G major arpeggio or scale and then arpeggio, and you guys are going to take your time and tune your scale, okay, to me. Or to the tuner, or whatever you use. Then I'm going to do it again right away, and we're going to go faster. And this is going to be the tester. This is where I want you to pay attention to what might go wrong when we're going fast, just in the scale and the arpeggio. Okay? So that's how we're going to start. So I'm going to mute you all. Everybody seems in tune and happy there. It's good. So I love you all, but I must mute you. There we go. All right. There, muted life. Hey, so there's no more page 2. I have you all on the one screen tonight. It's lovely. Okay, so let me just tune up for a second because I haven't played yet today. I've just been in the studio. And of course my A string unraveled in the middle of my recording session yesterday, so I had to slap on an old one. And it does suck. Sucks for 3 reasons. First of all, I lost time in the studio because I had to change my string. Luckily, we let the pipes, Ross with the pipes, wrestle with whatever he was working on, and that gave me time to change the string. But it's also really hard to keep it in tune after. That really sucks about that experience. But the worst of it is, that means that I've gone through a set of strings during COVID. Not one gig. Just going down the basement, I went through a whole set of $120 strings. Can you believe it? It's terrible. Anyway, okay, G major, nice and slow. Tune your notes. Ready, and. Okay, arpeggio. Ready, and. Alright, that looked all very cheerful. So now let's try a little bit faster. And this time you're not going to spend so much time tuning as you are listening to what might be your tendency, sharp or flat. Okay? And then I'm going to do a poll right after. So a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, and. Arpeggio! All right, so there we go. That was the tester. How many people would just raise your hand and tell me who still felt good at the fast tempo? Still felt they were ringing out nice. Oh, that's great. Okay, so we're going to go faster to challenge you guys. Now, those that are left, who felt like they were flat the whole time? Who felt like they were sharp the whole time? Who felt like they were both? A few people. Okay, let's do it again right away. And I want you to listen carefully again and see if you can figure out, whether you might be, if you're both, see which one you are more of. Okay, so we're trying to identify the tendency. So one more time. Now this is going to be even a little tiny bit faster to challenge those people that didn't have any problems. That's your reward, is problems. 1, 2, 3, and... Okay. Oh, arpeggio, we forgot. 1, 2, and go. Okay, so let's see. Anybody identify as a sharp-leaning person? A few people? Okay. Now the fix for being sharp is to really try to relax that left hand. Alright? If you're sharp, it's probably because of tension and the hand comes up the neck. So you want to relax. Okay? Try not to put more effort in. Just relax that hand. Now who identifies as a flat-leaning person? A few people. The best way to battle flatness, for the most part, is finger pressure. Press a little harder on your note right away. You can come up like a half a semitone just by pressing harder, and it's a very quick fix to your flatness. So just try increasing your finger pressure across the board, okay? Now, did any of the people that didn't have any problem, did you find that challenging? Or was it still okay? Still okay. Oh, that's great. Right on. Well, aren't you good, as my dad would say. Aren't you good? Okay, one more time and then we're going to play slip jigs. And here's your low A, everybody, just so you can center that before you start. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and... Okay, does everybody feel better about that? The flat people were sharper, the sharp people were flatter? Pretty good? Okay, great. Now, the slip jigs. So, I'm trying to remember how fast we were going with the slip jigs. I'm going to play a little bit of the first one and we'll see what you think. Were we kind of about that tempo? Does that sound like the right tempo there? Yeah? I'll play a little bit more. Okay, so that does look like most people are seeming able to play along with that. So let's see what that tempo is. That is
Dan, what's the title of the first tune in that set, please?
Give me a drink of water.
Thank you.
No problem. So that's about 70 to 75 there, guys. Okay, 70, like I think it was 72. I'm going to do it again. Oh, it says 75. Okay, so let's try playing the whole set at 75, see how we do, see how it feels, talk about it, and then bump her up a little bit, okay? Now I'll put my metronome on so you can be sure that I'm not creeping up. Because my dad was terrible for it. I trust no one after that experience. Okay, I'm going to put my light on here. Metronome. Visual flash. Excellent. Okay. Can everybody hear that metronome clearly? Okay, good. I think that's good. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what are the reviews of 75? What do you think? How did it feel? Pretty good? That's great. Was it too fast for anybody? Was it just too fast for anybody? Or were you able to kind of jump in the skipping rope most of the time? Yeah? Yes, Susie?
I think, because I'm new to this, I think with practice, 75 would be okay and
Yep.
probably a bit faster. But I haven't played these for a while, so I struggled a bit.
Right, yeah. And I saw you kind of looking for music too. And Carl, you found the music after? Good. Okay, yeah, I forgot to tell you because you haven't done these either, so it'd be a bit of reading for you there for sure. I mean, Susan's done them, but it's been a while. But Carl's brand new.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if anybody has the music for My Mind Will Never Be AZ written out. My problem is trying to find where I am in the song. I keep jumping to the wrong spots. I guess, when you're going into the second ending and then you're repeating the second part, I get mixed up on those.
Okay, let's see if I have it somewhere there.
It's okay, don't worry about it today, but if anybody has it, if they could send it, it would be appreciated. Don't worry about it today, it's okay.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to see here. Oh, no, I don't. I don't have it on hand, unfortunately. I wonder why. That's kind of weird. Slip jigs. Is that what we called the set back then?
Yes. Slip jig set, yeah.
Slip jig set, eh? Slip jigs. No, that's not it. Slip jigs. There's a whole bunch of tracks of records where I recorded slip jigs. But I can't. Oh, here. Okay, yes, I got it. Okay, My Mind Will Never Be Easy. Right on. So I will forward this to you, Deb. Yeah, right here. Okay. Okay. Off it goes. All right. Now, are there any more thoughts about 75 before we try it a little faster? Okay. Any thoughts or problems or anything that you encountered that you want to clear up before we put on the helmet and storm the beach? No? Okay, well, let's do it. So let's bump it up. Now, my wife told me that I'm very foolish to be bumping things up 5 notches at a time. It's very drastic. So she said 3 is much better. Okay? So let's bump her up 3 notches. We're going to go to 78. All right? And we're going to give it a go. If you have problems, really try hard to jump back in the skipping rope. When we can talk about the problems that you might have, whether they're systemic or whether they're just glitches. Because, there's lots of glitches. Even the best people have glitches. It's no big deal. But if there's something you don't understand, that's something I can help with. Okay? So 78. Brace yourselves. All right. One, two, three. finish there, guys. Everybody kind of moved their bow at the same time there. That's a good sign. That can only be good. Okay, so how did we feel at 78? How did people feel at 78? Pretty good. That's good. A few thumbs there. That's great. Okay. And okay, excellent. So we'll try it again a little later, faster, but I don't want to do too many repetitions because, you know, it'll get a little hard on the arm, eh? So we'll leave that for now. So we're up to 78, and I'm going to make a note of that.
Hey, Dan, do you remember what tempo we played at for the recording?
I'm having trouble remembering that. I don't think it was much faster.
I don't think so either, no. I just
found written down 80 on my page.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that was 78. So that's pretty well there, what we were doing. Okay, so this is the slip jigs. And this is March 12th. Oh, it looks, that's the date for me. So
my notes say that you said practice at 70, aim at 80, and then underneath I've got written 84.
84? Good man there, Bill. Right on.
And somewhere I've got that you said the target speed's 85.
Well, you know, I like to shoot high, right? I come from car dealers, so I was kind of highballing you to see what would happen. And I think we might have got to 80, which I think is really good. Okay.
Yeah, I have noted that you said aim at 80.
Yeah. So I think 80 is good. I think that's really, really good. I'd like to get it faster, but we'll see how things go. We're going to work on speed. I find speed to be a skill unto itself. There are many factors of playing the tunes up to speed that are simple, that are very simple things getting in your way of doing that I think we can work together and eliminate and get a little faster as a whole group, you know. So I think 80 is good. We'll try to get faster, but if 80 feels good and it sounds good for people, then that's a great speed. Okay? Now let's think about some reels. Okay? Now, should we do the old set of reels, the copper plate set first, or should we do the newer ones that we just learned? What do you think would be a better... Who wants to do the newer ones? A couple of people. Who wants to do the older ones? Nobody. One person. Two people. Oh, three people. Okay, so we'll do the older ones. That's fine. The copper plates.
What's the first tune?
I'm just going to double check.
I'll have to change my title.
I got the new copper plate as the first tune.
The new copper plate? Yeah, okay.
Hang on, let me do a search, see if I got it in here somewhere.
The new copper, old copper, and swinging on a gate.
And swinging on a gate, that's right.
Damn it. Sorry.
I've learned to tape all the music together, and I have a piece of tape stuck on the end, and I write on it things like Neil's copper plate, or Irish jigs, or whatever Dan calls them.
Good man.
Oh. Could I get a list of all the tunes that are on that? Because I don't have copper plate listed as a set name.
Oh, no? Okay, yeah. Yeah, we should make a list of all the tunes so we've done so far. I realize it's been a lot of tunes. We've learned a lot of music. Yeah, that's why I thought the tempo, the little bit of a focus on tempo would be good, because we have so much music. It'd be nice to get it all a little stronger.
It's new copper plate, old copper plate, and swinging on a gate, Bob.
Correct.
Okay, new copper plate, old copper plate.
Yep.
Plate. And swinging on a gate. If I can only type.
Okay, I gotta remember how this starts.
Come on, Busby. And it's just called the copper plate set, or is it called the new copper plate set?
No, it's called. They call it the copper plates for both of them.
Okay.
Because they're always played together. The new copper plate.
Okay, so for my spreadsheet, I just call it copper plates 1, 2, and 3 in this set name, and then I list the songs to the right.
Okay.
Ah, shit! Sorry, you didn't say that out loud.
Oh, God. Okay, so let's knock her back to 75 there, guys. Or 70, let's say, let me see here. I'm going to look at 72 for practicing. I think you should do 70. Let's do a pass at 70 to start off with, okay? Because it's been a while since we played them. And it's just a refamiliarization go. Okay?
And
so, yep.
What's the order? Which one comes first, the new or the old?
The new. This one here. Okay, that's the first. And then. And then. Okay, big arpeggio for the swinging on the gate. Okay, everybody good? Everybody ready to charge into battle? He's ready. Okay, just gonna make sure we're all, yep. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and... Okay. Now, that was quick. It was 70, but I thought that was kind of a little bit quick. What do you guys think? Like, who thought that was kind of a little bit on the quick side?
I felt like that was my limit.
What's that?
120. I never learned these because I was off sick during this time, so I'm catching up.
You're catching up.
It was fast.
That was fast. I was surprised.
That was about
I thought you were faster than 70. I was
top.
having trouble with swinging on the gate because I had no music in front of me and I was trying to remember it.
Yeah, I was trying to say thing.
But the pace was fine.
Darn fast.
I liked it. It was great.
Faster than 70.
That's good. So, yeah, so 70, I thought, like, I was thinking, the feel was definitely, could you guys hear the nice feel, the real feel was still present there at 70, So, that's a nice thing you're going to be able to do, hopefully, is get that nice feel in there at 70. It's what they call the stately pace, and I thought that was quite nice in terms of that. It would be nice to get it faster, for sure, and of course. Now, the people that had trouble with 70, besides, the thing is that we haven't played this in a while. So there could have been just a lot of just trying to remember the damn thing going on. But other than that, anybody that had trouble at 70, can you describe your experience? Is there something that stopped you besides not remembering things? Yes, Peter.
I found that the cuts and the quarter notes tended to blend in a little too much with the other notes.
Okay, so
you're going fast.
So your rhythm got impacted by the speed.
I think so, yeah.
So your long notes and your short notes, you're trying to start to blur the lines there.
I think I probably had to leave the longer notes sooner than I wanted to catch up, sort of.
Right. Okay. Good point. Now, my prescription for that, Peter, of course, is to light up the big more bow sign. Because that's what's going to, I say it all the time. If you do that rhythmic idea with your bow as much as you can, quarter note, eighth note, quarter note, eighth note, then that really helps, like even when you're going fast, to give you some reference. Okay? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Or with the reels, it would be more like eighth notes. The quarter notes be about this much. You do it proportionally. That's the big thing. You want your quarter notes to be proportional to your eighth notes with how much bow you use. So that way, even if you're trying to kind of struggling a bit, that delineation is still going to be there. Okay? So we'll try that and see how it goes, Peter. See if that helps any. All right? Anybody else? That was a really good point, and I'm sure, is that an experience that some people can identify with, that we're having trouble with 70? The long notes and the short notes kind of blend in together a little bit.
I just find I'm going so fast I don't have time to do all the accidental extra little things.
Yes.
So you start to lose a lot. And I have a note from before when we were doing it a lot, and I tested myself with a metronome, and I got written down that my top speed was 132, but that's 66.
66, yeah, so it's not far off.
Going and going until it was like, I'm still doing it right, but I hit 66.
66. Well, that sounds about right. Now, with the extra stuff there, Bill, anybody that's having trouble getting some ornaments or grace notes or anything like that in when we're going fast, my best advice is to take the bit that you want to do, the grace note or whatever it is, take that whole measure that has that thing in it, and do it over and over, like 500 times. Just that ornament, the bar with that ornament. And then when you're going fast, it's not going to give you a problem. Your hand is going to already know what to do. The funny thing is about that is that some tunes, if it's really, really fast, like when I was in the Irish dancing show, there's this one tune called The Humours of Liz Adele. And it was lightning fast for the dancers. It was the two guys doing the dance. And what I did was I started with the ornamental parts. I learned them first. And that way, when the piper was playing along with me, I could make sure to do those, right? And there might be a little bit of waiting in between where I'm getting ready to do it, but I could do it. And then it was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 shows before that all kind of came in behind those hard bits. See what I mean? All the regular melody just came in behind, and I could play that tune no problem, okay? So that's what I would suggest. You know, if you're pretty good with the tempo, except you get to a certain point and you lose your fancy bits and pieces, as it were, then I would suggest working on those bits and pieces just on their own, and then going back to your system of speeding things up, okay, that we're doing tonight. Very good point, though, Bill. Very, very good point. Anybody have any other insights like that, or discouragements, or complaints?
Well, I just have a question.
Yeah.
Of whether you're, like, sometimes I find I'm thinking about my bow and how fast to get my bow going, and sometimes I'm thinking about my fingers, and I'm just wondering if the whole thing is about just muscle memory and you're not really thinking of either, you're just doing it.
Absolutely correct there, Wendy. Yes, you have to figure out how to remove your prefrontal cortex altogether, you know?
Oh.
And yes, you're trying to let your hands do what they've learned how to do. You make a really good point, you know, and it reminds me of the saying when you're in the studio: if you're thinking, you're stinking. So you try to just let it all come out, you know.
Okay.
And that's why I say that's why we're doing it this way, because if you can let it all come out at a certain tempo, then you can see what still needs work, because that's all you got to do is work on those tunes or those bits. And then you can just rely on your hand to just do it. Okay, very, very good point. All right.
The other thing I'd mention is that when there's triplets, when you're playing really fast, known as a triplet, so it's super fast. I find if I slur that, especially if it's just a scale, that solves a lot of problems, because my left hand can do it, and then I don't have to worry about my right hand.
Yes, now, and you're not the only one there, Bill. Lots of people do some slurring when it gets really fast, and remember what the Irish guys do. They slur pretty well everything in the up bow except the backbeats, you know. The only danger with slurring that I will tell everybody is make sure your notes are still even on the slur, because that's the danger. If it's like this, you can easily play it like this and not even realize it, and not even realize it, because you just when you move your bow back and forth, that gives you that steady rhythm, and the slurring is good. Just make sure it is also rhythmic. See what I mean? Yeah, just nice and even, and that'll help too. Okay, really good point though. Any other things like that? Those are really good things to talk about there, guys. We're trying to get faster. Anybody else want to impart their experience?
Dan?
Yeah.
Sometimes when you memorize a piece, you get 1 or 2 notes wrong. But is it like, if you're playing together, is it really matter where you have everybody play, like, do you want to look at a piece of music, or do you don't want to look at a piece of music for that?
Well, I always would rather not to look at a piece of music. And I'm going to tell you something there, Nancy. I've been playing for a long time, and I still miss the odd 8th note here and there when I'm playing as well. And you just don't sweat it. That's why I always use the analogy of D-Day, when the landing craft door opens and you go for it, and you might lose a few of your comrades, which are the notes, but you can't stop to help them. You just keep going, you know? The biggest thing is to get those phrases, and then you're playing the tune. If you miss the odd note, then you're no different from anybody else. Do you see what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. Now,
because you worry that you might mess up other people's playing if you...
Yeah, I mean, that does happen, but if you're just leaving out the odd note, that shouldn't really mess up anybody else's playing, you know, just missing the odd note. That's totally fine, because what you don't hear can't mess you up. The biggest thing is just to, like, if you, there's so much repetition in this music that the biggest, most important thing is that if you miss a few notes in the first time around the A part, you just try to get them the second time around. You know, that's the most important thing for everybody across the board, okay? And then that high tide will raise all the boats.
Okay.
Okay? So don't sweat the odd note. Like, we're not going to sweat that, because a good fiddle player never worries about that. We just keep belting them out there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No problem. Anybody else would like to talk about how hard it is to play fast? Okay, great. So let's bump it up then. So that was 70. Now we're going to try 72. All right? Yep. Yep.
I just joined.
Hi, Janet.
What are we playing?
We're playing the Irish Reels from Before Christmas. The new copper plate, the old copper plate, swinging on a gate.
Okay, perfect.
We're doing speed trials.
Okay, thanks. I'll get those.
Okay, yep, take your time. No problem. So 72 is what we're going to try there, guys. And like I keep saying, just keep jumping in that skipping rope. Here's the click. My life has been a click the last few days in the studio because we figured the best way to try to get two groups to play together is using a click, and it is working out really well. But it does my head in, you know? It's like Chinese water torture or something. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and... right, now I gotta say that looked a little bit better than last time. People seemed to hang in a little longer, and there was less stopping. So how did it go, everybody? How'd you feel about 72? Not bad? Okay, cool.
I was hoping the neighbors couldn't hear me. It was so bad.
Now, what bad in what way? Just not getting it right, or just was it bad intonation, or what?
Oh, I played whatever notes were in that line. If I couldn't figure the note, I played a note.
Right on, Debbie. Jeez, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. Okay, we'll keep working on it. That's really the way to do it, for sure. Anybody else want to talk about their experience at 72? No? Okay, but you get the idea how we're working on this, eh? Bumping it up a little bit, see how it feels, see what could be easily fixed. That's the big thing, is trying to figure out what could be easily fixed, what always stops me. That's what you want to really listen for, okay? Now,
I found it easier at 72 than 70 because I was ready for it. At 70, it caught me off guard. It was faster than I thought it would be.
yes, yes.
So when I was ready for it, I found it easier.
Yes, cool. Well, that's great. Good point. I'm sure lots of people have that same experience. Okay, so now let's take a break from reels and let's go to the old polkas that we learned last. Okay? Now I'm trying to think of how fast we got those. Oh. I gotta tell you, I gotta get this hernia fixed soon because it is bothering my lower back like you wouldn't believe. Like, I can barely just sit here to teach. Like, it's really, really sore all the time. The sooner the better to get her fixed.
You need to walk around a little bit then.
I've been walking around a lot, but it's still, like, if I do that, then I can keep it at bay, you know? But then as soon as I sit down for a while, it's, like, right back. I don't think there's anything I can do until I get her fixed. That's the big
Do you
thing.
have a new date, Dan? Do you have a new date?
Yes, April 11th is the new date.
Oh, good. I'm glad it's not too far.
No, it's not that far. It's pretty, it's coming up pretty quick, so.
Great.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Once they cut me open and put me back together, I'll be just great. I'll be 10 men.
Hey, Dan, everybody would be very cool about it if you wanted to get up and just to give yourself a break. I mean, you're sitting there for 2 hours straight.
Well, yeah, but this, you know, I'm a fiddle player. I like sitting. I just got to be able for it again, you know? Anyway, that's okay. So let's move on to our... Sorry?
Are we thinking Jerry O'Connell?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Jerry O'Connell, Dinny Tarrant, and Captain Bing.
I have noted on there that you said target 110 for a quarter note.
Is that what we were doing?
No, well, that's what I have written down. It says target. So you must have set that as a target.
As a target.
Whether
Now,
that's what we did, I don't remember.
yeah, now it's gonna be a higher marking for polkas because they're tuned. So that's yep.
You said the tempo was 85 to practice at.
Perfect. Okay. And that's the thing. Polkas are 2/4, so it's a little bit different metronome marking. You understand that? So that's 85, right? Dee 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 da 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 dee 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 da 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 da. That's pretty slow for a polka. You see what I mean? So it's the jigs, reels, and polkas have slightly different metronome markings. So anyway, we'll try it at the 85. I think it was working at 85. Am I right? Ooh, nice there, Barb.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Don't say sorry. Sounds great. So nice to hear other people play. Anything. Okay. So were we able to play it at 85? Can somebody remind me? Because I have a lot of groups. Were we able to play it at 85?
I think we were, Dan.
Okay. Let's give it a go. All right. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so here, you know what? I'm going to back her up to 82. Split the difference. Okay. Everybody ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
I think that was an interesting variation there, Dan, wasn't it?
Yeah, what did I do there? I played...
You went back to, after Din Terrence, you went back to Joe O'Connell's, but never mind.
Did I? That's what I was wondering about. Sorry about that.
That's okay, we kept up with you.
Oh, good. Oh, jeez. Here, we're going to do it again, but... So, how was 82 besides that little gaff? How was 82 there, guys? Everybody able? Oh, good. Okay, that's great. So we're going to bump her up. I think we could bump her up a few notches, eh? Let's try it at 85. Okay? And I have the music up now, so I won't do that again. I promise. Unless, of course, I think it sounds cool. Then I might do something like that, you know? That's the problem with us Celtic guys. The poor classical people are learning that right now in the studio.
It was a good challenge for us. We need to be on our feet and pay attention to what's happening.
Of course, yeah, you never know, right? Oh, how did I do that? Wow, jeez, too many tunes. Okay, so 85. Up she goes. I feel like that's not much faster. I feel like we should go couple of notches more than that. Let's try 87, okay? Because again, these are polkas, so it's kind of a halftime thing. So let's go 87. Yeah. Yeah, okay, that's a little touch faster. Does that feel okay? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. was 87. Now I gotta say, by the looks of everybody, looked pretty okay. How did everybody feel at 87? Right on. Cool. That's great. So now I'm going to write that down. Let's see what we got here. So slip jig 78. Polkas 87. And the reels we got to 72, wasn't it? Or was it 75? 72 for the reels. Okay, so I have that written down. So practicing this week is going to involve trying the sets at 72 or whatever you're supposed to, whatever we were doing tonight that was comfortable, and then pushing yourself at, say, I don't know, like give yourself a good 3 notches, I guess. Jen says 5 is too many, so 3 notches. Or if you're feeling challenged, you can do 5 notches and just do it and see what goes wrong. See exactly what might go wrong when you go fast, and then we'll go. Next week we'll work on it some more, try to get it going even faster, everything. We'll get it up a few notches, okay? Now let's work on our reel set, because we just finished learning all the tunes, and now it's time to put it together into a set, okay? So we got, what have we got there? I have to remind myself again, my God. Okay, let's see.
Dan, are there any tricks for sort of relaxing your arm when you're playing? I find the faster, the more my hand is turning into kind of a claw.
Who am I talking to right now? Oh, Donna. Okay. Very. So which hand are you talking about, by the way?
I'm my left arm. I'm just trying to think if there's any trick for relaxing, because I noticed when you said relax your arm, you're right, it stops me from playing sharp, but the faster we go, the more tension I'm holding in my arm.
It creeps in, for sure. So there's a couple of things about that I have heard. Now, but remember that left arm and hand tension is something that everybody battles, even me. That's one of my main things that bother me while I'm playing. So I've read a lot about it. A few things are the stretches. They're really good. Like this one here. I always do that one. There's this one over the head like that. That's really also very good. And then the hand one, which is, I don't know if I showed you guys, but it's like this and then like that. So those are stretches that I do to keep my left arm limber. Okay? In terms of actually actively relaxing it while you're playing, the only advice that I've heard that has actually helped and made a difference is breathing into it. Okay? So first of all, you might when you try doing that, realize that you're not breathing when you play, that you hold your breath when you play. Many people hold their breath while they play. And that really is a recipe for tension for anybody, but it's usually both arms, like your whole body, you know? So the best advice I've heard for relaxing my left hand is to breathe into it. Now, getting started breathing while you're playing the violin is the really hard part of that, actually starting to breathe. And so I've read and I've noticed that this really helps is to try to exhale on a down bow. See that? And that usually gets you started breathing. Okay? And then, if you can kind of make your exhales go into, I don't know if you do yoga, but I've been recently doing yoga. The wife makes me do it. And the missus is always talking about breathing into the limb, And it really, that's what I do. So I focus on my left hand, and I try to do that exhale so that this melts. Just like the missus in yoga's class says, let it melt. And that really is the best. Now, it doesn't always work. Like, if it's a long dance, even doing that stuff doesn't stop me from tensing up, it's just by the time I'm finished a 3-hour dance, I'm just tense. It's just the way it is. See what I mean? Anybody would be. But that does help. That's one of the tricks that I pull out. I do the stretches, I do the breathing into my limb, and I do relaxing with my buddies. But that's usually after the gig, unfortunately. Okay, does that help a little bit?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, it's a hard thing. It's a very hard thing. Tension is hard to battle, for sure. Okay, reels. So we got, what did we learn? We got the Broken Pledge. And then Feral O'Gara. Wicked tune. And then what's the last one we're doing there? Toss the Feathers, of course, yes. Feathers everywhere. I actually saw a tar and feathering once. Actually twice. Because I play in this band called the Steel City Rowers, like I'm a sub. I'm a sub for many bands. But this particular band goes down to the States all the time. That's where they do most of their work. And they do this festival every year called the Whiskey Rebellion Festival in Washington, Pennsylvania, this great little town. And apparently what happened was, back in the late 1700s, this town was a whiskey-making town. And the federal government tried to tax their whiskey that they produce in their own little town. And you know what Americans are like when it comes to that. They were having none of it. And so apparently they had a little revolution. They called it the Whiskey Rebellion. And they took one of the federal government guys to the town square and they tarred and feathered him and they sent him back to Washington, right? So every year they have this Whiskey Rebellion Festival and they reenact the battle and then they reenact the tar and feathering. And I got to tell you, the first time I saw it, it was altogether too perfect. It was raining a little bit, fairly miserable. Everybody was kind of soaked and so actually kind of mad, you know. And the guy is giving him hell, and then he dumps the big thing in his chocolate syrup that they use, dumps the big thing of chocolate syrup over all the feathers, and off he goes. It was like, wow, pretty wild. Anyway.
Oh, can I ask a dumb question?
Yeah.
So, do you call this the real set or the Irish set?
Oh, it's a good question. I think I called it...
I want to make sure I got the right name on my spreadsheet.
Yeah, I think I call it... What did I call it? I think we will call it the Broken Pledge set there, Barb. Let's call it the Broken Pledge set.
Okay,
because we already have a set of Irish reels, and that was our first set of Irish reels. So, the Broken Pledge set.
Okay, so I will rename that 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. No problem.
I will mute myself once I'm done adjusting.
No problem, no problem. So I think we should go through each tune at least once and then shove them together. Okay? I think that's the best way to go. And we're going fairly slow, I think, eh? Is that kind of a reasonable approach? Okay, so let's grind away at this Broken Pledge, and then we'll do the other two, okay? Let's do it twice. 1, 2, 3, and... Am I doing something wrong? I might be playing it different, eh? What's going on there?
You're playing my version.
You're playing a different version.
A different version? Oh my god.
There were nice harmonies.
Okay, one sec. I'll just get the same version up here so I don't confuse people more than I already have. Okay, it's not much different, but anyway, let's do it. So that's the session.org version I sent you, eh? Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. right, that was a workout. It's a handful, that tune, for sure. So how did we do there, everybody? Getting them all in there? Okay, good. That's great. Now let's just leave that for now because I know it's a tricky tune. We'll move on to Farrell O'Gara. We'll do that a couple of times, okay? We'll get that version up too. There we go. Okay, Farrell O'Gara, nice and slow, just like that. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and... looked pretty good for the most part. Anybody having any problems with Farrell O'Gara? Speak now.
It's a really nice tune and it flows well.
Oh, I love it too, Earl. Thanks, man. Okay, well then let's move on, shall we, to the last tune in the set, Toss the Feathers. And we'll be thinking of the poor fella who had the tar and feather in there in Washington, Pennsylvania, all those years ago. Okay, yeah, and this one is kind of a cool tune that you can do some rolls in, eh? Yeah, we won't be doing it that fast. So let's go exactly the same speed. Now let's see what speed we've been doing here, guys. So that's about 62 that we've been practicing these tunes at so far. 62 for your records, okay? I'm going to write that down too. So this is broken. It's 62. Okay, so Toss the Feathers at 62, nice and slow. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and... One more. Okay, now I sped her up a bit because it looked like it was going pretty easy there for everybody. It's not a hard tune. So, let's play all three reels there, guys. 2 times each. At that speed, I think is plenty for now. I'm just going to get up that version of the Broken Pledge so I don't confuse anybody again. And let's see how it goes. So this is 62, okay, for the whole set, for your practicing at home. And maybe next week we'll try for, I don't know, say 67 or something like that, if we work on it a little bit. Okay? So here we go. 2 times each. Broken Pledge, Farrell O'Gara, Toss the Feathers. This is going to be awesome. All right. 1, 2, 3, and. Okay, that was like 9 minutes of playing there, guys. Whew, jeez. So we'll have to get her a little faster so we don't have to spend 9 minutes playing the set, eh? Maybe that's what we should do. That's what I meant by speed trials. So next week I've decided what we're going to do is we're all going to start the set, okay? And I'm going to watch, and whoever's finished first wins. Anyway, great work tonight, guys. I know it was a big workout, but I'm really happy that everybody was so up for it. So we'll keep working on that set. 62 right now. We're aiming for, I don't know, 65, 67, something like that, maybe next week. And we'll get everything up in tempo there that we worked on this week, too. All right, everybody good?
Thank you, Dan. That was good.
Thanks, Dan.
Okay, we'll see you next Wednesday. Thanks a million.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks.